Oh yeah. Watch out, Chip Foose. Watch out, Chip Foose. I'm coming for you. I got rid of the rat smell, so that's pretty good. Alrighty. Okay, guys. So today we're gonna do a little bit of color sanding and buffing on the 55 Plymouth Wagon. And this is the side. I did some work off camera, and this is the side that I did. You can tell how much smoother it looks. Of course, you know, I did this whole car with no body work. I didn't do any rust repair. No, I didn't do any dent work. I didn't even block sand the car. I pretty much just scuffed it with 220 wet, shot it with spray can Rust-Oleum, and then did some. I did a base coat, and then I scraped some of the color off for that patina look, and then I clear coated it. So this side, I went ahead and sanded it with 1200 grit, and then I buffed it with some compound, which I'll show you here in a second. I'm definitely gonna repaint the hood because the rest of the car, it's really wavy. There's some dings and some rust on it, but the hood was in really bad shape. I mean, you can see how bad. I mean, there's just from all the heat and that Texas sun just hitting that hood, there's a lot of cracks on the old finish. And what I really need to do is I need to take a DA sander, sand the whole hood, reprime it, and then repaint the hood. So, but once I get that painted, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some pinstriping on the top of the hood. And I've never pinstriped ever. I'm gonna teach myself, I'm gonna give it a week, teach myself how to do it, pinstripe the hood. And then I also want to do some work on the door to where I write maybe like a logo or some sort of lettering on the door. That'd look real slick. But this is the side that I've done. I've done the fender, door, and the quarter panel. I still need to wet sand and buff the roof. I haven't done this side. And I don't know how good the camera's going to pick it up, but it's real hazy. It's not as shiny. I mean, you can't really see my reflection. This video, we're going to do some of the electrical work and the interior cleanup. The rear, the tail lid, the deck lid looks really great. You can see how good. And this is, I painted this car with spray cans. I've never done this before. I've painted cars just as a hobby and for friends, just messing around, you know, paint a car for them. But this is the first time I've ever painted a car with rattle cans with Rust-Oleum, and all I did was, like I said, no body work. This car is, I mean, it's really not that straight. It's got some, it's pretty wavy. Like if you look down the side of it, there's no major dents, but it's a little wavy. I probably could have, if I spent another day or two, I probably could have block sanded it, primed it with 2K primer, block sanded it again and got it a little bit straighter. But I mean, for what it is, it's just a rat rod with some rust, and just have fun with it and get the old car going down the road again. I think it works pretty good. All right, let's make this side look like that other side. This is the compound that I'm using. It's a Meguiar's extra heavy cut mirror glaze 110 Ultra Pro speed compound that I got from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight's awesome. They're super cheap. I actually ran over my old buffer that I got from Harbor Freight. I got that Alright guys, so here's what we're working with. Got it buffed. I haven't washed it yet, so there's a lot of compound on it. But I mean, you can see a few dents. Body's not perfect, it's definitely wavy, but I mean, for spray cans, I'd say it's pretty good. Here's the roof. I still need to wash it. There's a lot of compound everywhere, but turned out pretty smooth. That's the original paint right there. It's just cleared over. Quarter panel looks nice and shiny. And since I did this thing with rattle cans, what's going to be really important is that I wax the whole car. So after I give it a good buff, I'm going to want to put some really good wax on it. And the only way I'm going to be able, if you paint a car with spray cans, the only way you're going to be able to protect that finish is either if you store it indoors and take it out only when you want to drive it, or if you wax it. But that's another reason why I did the patina look, because I know it's going to get used and it's going to get beat up anyway. So show cars are just annoying. This thing's just going to look good going down the road. And the hood, I did not buff the hood. I am about to take my DA sander and I'm gonna blast this hood down because it looks like dog crap. I mean, I was in a hurry. I did the hood last, and you can see all these areas where the old paint's cracked and somebody did some Bondo work, and I mean, it just looks really bad. All right, so the problem I'm having is the paint is so fresh that it's leaving my sandpaper all gummed up. So it's just gonna take a lot longer. All right guys, so my compressor broke and I was doing some sanding on the hood, but I'm gonna have to postpone that for a second because I'm going to do these floorboards. So you can see it's kind of bad. It's not too bad. Some holes right here, little holes right here, some holes right there where the body mount is, and there's some holes along here where the rocker panel welds to the floor pan, and then back here got some holes right here. That side's not that bad. Just a couple of holes. It's really not too bad. It's probably actually repairable just by cutting out and taking the time and welding it in. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind all this out with a grinder wheel, and then I'm gonna paint it with Rust-Oleum. Just brush on some Rust-Oleum, or it's actually called Stop Rust, to stop it from rusting any further. And then I have a dryer, some sheet metal from a dryer that I'm gonna lay on there, and I'll probably just tack it and then use some silicone and then paint that. But first I need to get all this cleaned up because it's really dirty. But I got rid of the rat smell, so that's pretty good. Alrighty, let me get this cracking. Got the passenger side finished up. That's as far as I'm gonna go with it. I don't know how good you can see it. I'm in the shop, but it's real dark in here. I need to get a light. But Just kind of patched it all together, cut out what rust I could, but oh yeah. Watch out, Chip Foose. Watch out, Chip Foose, I'm coming for you. Go ahead and do the driver's side now. Alright guys, I got the hood all sanded down, and I don't know what the heck they put on here, like this gray stuff right here. See, like there's Bondo. See, you have the red as the original primer, and then you have the original paint, the teal, and then they put some Bondo, and they put like this red, silver. It looks like it has like a metal flake. I don't know if it's like meant for hoods or extreme heat, but I've done body work before. I've never seen this stuff, but I mean, it's not perfect. I got it just smoothed out. Wet sanded it on my little jitterbug with 80 grit. I'm gonna prime it with some filler primer, mainly just in certain areas where it's still kind of where I didn't sand it real well. Like I said, this isn't a restoration. I'm not trying to do this thing concourse, just trying to get it looking a little slick, and I knew better than to paint this thing, but it's good. It turns out to be I knew better than to paint it, you know, with that much issues and the cracking Bondo, but hey, whatever. But yeah, y'all, it turned out to be good anyways, because y'all didn't get to see me paint the whole car. So what I'm gonna be able to do is I'm gonna be able to kind of show you the sanding, the priming, sanding, painting, and then the color sand and buffing. So, all right, let me go ahead and shoot some primer on this. All right, guys, got the hood all sanded down, nice and smooth.
Taxi driver takes and let it go to a museum.
All right, guys, so that's the first coat of the Rust-Oleum. That's only one coat right there. That's a lot better. A lot of those imperfections aren't as bad as it was, but you can see some stripes and a little bit of stripes. But I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit, put one more coat, and then put some clear coat on it, and then I can color buff, wet sand it, and then buff it tomorrow. All right, guys, so the clear coat's on it. Looks really good. Of course, whenever you paint a car or a body panel, for that matter, with spray cans, you're gonna notice the pattern is really small. It's not like a gun where a gun is really big. So you're gonna get less coverage. So you're gonna end up having like dry sprays. Like if you look right here, you can see kind of a dry spray. This actually turned out pretty decent, but of course, once it's all dry, just give it 24 hours, let it set up and dry. And then I can go back and I can sand the whole hood down wet with 1200 grit and then buff it with some buffing compound. I mean, it'll probably take, 30 minutes, sand it, buff it, and it'll almost look like it was painted with a spray gun. So, but this looks way better than it did, because if you saw that other video, I knew better. I just went ahead and just scuffed it and painted it, but there was a lot more imperfections. So, okay, I'm gonna let this dry. Tomorrow we'll come back and buff it. And what I really want to do is, like I said, I bought a pinstriping kit, and I've been practicing how to pinstripe on it's actually an old, those popcorn tins you get for Christmas. I got one of those popcorn tins and been practicing on a lid. I'll probably put some pictures up here of how horrible those first couple of artwork pieces turned out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to do some on here. And the good thing about that pinstriping is, if I start to do it and it looks bad, I can just take some mineral spirits, wipe it away, and just keep practicing. But I do have a hood off of a Dodge Ram that I might practice on before then. So, oh, and check this out. I got this really cool sticker. Since it's a station wagon and I'm gonna be hauling the family around in it, I got this Wally World sticker. If y'all have ever seen National Lampoon's Family Vacation, where old Chevy Chase, spends the whole movie trying to get to his family to Wally World. So I thought that was cool. And they're driving a station wagon too. And then I got this cool Plymouth Heart sticker. And then I also got a Roadrunner. I thought this was kind of cool because it kind of matches the color of the car. And on the other side, I put the Roadrunner and the Coyote. That's pretty cool, Roadrunner Coyote. And then of course, floorboards are in on the front. The driver's side rear floorboard has some holes I need to patch. Should be pretty quick. Should be quick and fast. Once I get this car all cleaned up, I'll finish that, put some foam on the seat, put a seat cover on it, finish the gauges up, and I got a cheap $20 Amazon radio I'm gonna throw in there. So it's pretty exciting. It's turning out pretty good. The hood ended up gonna look better than the rest of the car, because the rest of the car I just scuffed and shot. This I actually, sanded it with a jitterbug sander, wet sanded it, primed it, wet sanded it. So anyways, there we go. Got it all buffed out. Looks like glass. There's a lot of little tiny imperfections, which, was just pretty much in the original finish, or the primer, whatever, whoever did the body work. All right, guys, this is what I got so far. Don't judge me. This is my first time ever pinstriping, so got a little design on there. I even tagged my name. I got a little artwork right here. Just kind of outlined it. I got to come back tomorrow and clean it up and then touch some areas up. There's the other side. That looks pretty cool, huh? I did a little pinstriping on the whatchamacallit, where you get your gas, the little gas door. Get some little striping on there. Look, I even painted the inside of that. Some striper. It kind of goes around there. I need to touch it up tomorrow. But I don't know, I might do some striping around here. Like I said, I'm not a striper. I've never done this before, so I practiced for a couple days and then I actually striped my fan over there, and I was like, you know what, it looks good enough. I'm gonna throw some striping on the car. All right, guys, it's pretty late, but I got these really cool Plymouth decals I ordered on Wish. So I ordered them on wish.com, and of course they were supposed to be probably twice the size of this one, and they turned out to be this small. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on the quarter panel and show you how it looks. Well, actually turned out pretty sweet. Check it out. Edge is lifted a little bit. No bubbles in it. Looks pretty cool. Kind of gives it a cool look. This edge is lifted a little bit though. That's cool. I like it. Kind of gives it a little cool look. Okay guys, I got the rear sheet metal tacked into place. Just got a bunch of tacks on it. I'm gonna go ahead and scuff it up, paint it black. Then I can start on the gauges. Let me show you all this pinstriping I got going on. Not bad for a first timer. Definitely is not perfect, but the car's not perfect, so it's just about having fun, you know. I'm not trying to make it perfect, just trying to have some fun. All right, get back to work. I kind of want to drive this thing around today, but I still got to paint the floors, let it dry, and then I got to do the gauges. So I might paint the floors today and then do the gauges once it dries, do the gauges tomorrow, and then put the foam and the seat cover on. That way I can take it for a spin. And if y'all have watched my other videos, you know that I like to go pick my kid up from school. So really excited about that. Go pick her up from school and watch all the other parents. Look at all the other parents shake their head and look disgusted. Okay guys, it's kind of dark, but here's what it looks like with the very, very, very thick coat of paint on it. I just brushed on some Rust-Oleum with a brush. Here's the front. And I'm very excited because if you look back there, that little bundle is the world's cheapest sound deadening material, and I bought that off of Wish, which is a Chinese place where you can buy stuff from China, and I think I paid like $20 for that whole bundle, and it should be enough to cover this whole floor section, maybe even the doors. So do a review on that later. All right guys, so I got this old grill that I picked up from the junkyard, and there's some rust on there. I kind of thought it looked cool at first, and I was like, I might keep it, kind of clean up around it, and then just put it on the car. But I took some steel wool to it, and it's looking pretty shiny. It's definitely not perfect. There's some dings and dents in it. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. And there's a lot of heavy oxidization that's pretty much messed up the chrome. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit it, clean the whole thing down, and I'm just gonna use like a really fine steel wool. I got some somewhere over there, and just a spray bottle with water, steel wool, wipe it. That's it. I think it's like a 000. If I'm wrong, I'll put the right number right here. Put a little bit of water on there for lubrication. Take that steel wool. Boom. just like that. That easy. Not perfect, but I mean, you can tell this looks a lot better than all of that. So, and I can still shine it up a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this whole bumper. I'm gonna get it thrown on the car, and I'll show you guys how it looks. I also got the grill on and the headlight surrounds, and I cleaned them up with the steel wool. Looks pretty good. That grill's freaking sweet, dude. And I got the rear tail lights in. All right, I'm gonna call it a night for tonight. And then tomorrow, I guess I'll do the gauges, and then the whatever else I need to finish up. All right, guys. So the floor is finally dry. I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and clean, sand, and paint the dash. And I think I'm just gonna paint this dash black. I don't know, I might do the bottom blue. We'll see. Whatever I feel like doing. I got a bunch of cans of cheap black, so I'll probably end up using those cheap cans of black. Alright, so while this is all drying, actually looks pretty sweet. I like that satin color too. While that's all drying, I'm gonna go ahead and install the front lights. I ordered some lights for it, just some little cheap for the turn signals. I don't know if they're kind of small, but whatever. It should work fine. I don't see why some cops would complain about, you know. So I got the dash all painted up. It looks really good. Now, the problem I'm having now is the fuel gauge doesn't work. So I'm not going to be able to use the factory fuel gauge. I know the gauge itself doesn't work because I tested it with a 6-volt converter. So I'm pretty sure the sending unit in the tank is probably bad too, because it looks, I wasn't even worried about this. I was worried about the sending unit. So I'm just gonna set it in the hole, and then I'll mount a fuel gauge down somewhere kind of inconspicuous. And then I got the temp gauge. I haven't tested that yet. I'm gonna go ahead and hook that up and try to test that and see if it works. Hopefully I can get the original temp gauge to work. So let me go ahead and try to wire it up, and I'll run the car for a little bit and see if it heats up. So I got the fuel gauge hooked up. I mean, not the fuel gauge, the temperature gauge, and it does work. See, look, I'll turn the key on. I ran it for just a couple minutes, and it kind of started getting hot a little bit, or not hot, but it moved. So I mean, that doesn't mean that it works. Well, I'm working late tonight, but I got the radio installed. I bought these really nice horn buttons. They're pretty, looks pretty slick, and it kind of matches the car too. But unfortunately, the original horn on the car doesn't work. So I have a 2006 Dodge Ram. I'm gonna steal the horn off of it. It's not factory original, but at least it'll have a horn. All right, I got it mocked up. Let's see if it works. All right, so what I'm gonna do, because I don't feel like drilling any holes, right out here on this bumper bracket, I'm just gonna go ahead and weld the Dodge Ram bracket straight to it, do it the right way. Got it wired up. Got 2 little booger welds on there. Ah, that ain't going nowhere. And I got that Amazon special cigar lighter. Actually looks really cool. Kind of looks old school. Fits the look of the dash too. So